House Deputy Speaker Johnny Pimentel from Surigao del Sur. Good morning, sir. I'd like to recognize the presence of another Deputy Speaker. Kala ko Speaker eh. Deputy Speaker from Pampanga. 3rd District, sir? 3rd District of Pampanga, Congressman Dong Gonzales. PDP Laban Stalwart. So habing ako, mahaba-haba itong ano natin. I'd like to acknowledge the resource persons present here. I'll be relying on the nameplates. Of course, we have Undersecretary Ricardo Halad of the NDRINC. We have Mr. Relly Leisa of the DILG, Dr. Raquel Tolentino of the DILG, Engineer Narna of the Department of Health. Pag nakasali ang health dito? Potable water. Engineer Hipolito of the Department of Health. Mamaya siguro yung sa inyo. We are waiting for the arrival of the Majority Leader, Senator Mig Zubiri. Mr. Danilo Basilio, Office of the Administrator of LUA. Mr. Berilio Bombeta of LUA. Mr. Raul Ludovice of PSA, Philippine Statistical Authority. Ms. Queen Espinas of DOLE. Attorney Collis of Land Management Bureau. Lands ba o land? Land. Engineer Bonwen of LMB at Mrs. Monterde of the League of Cities of the Philippines. The President of the Liga ng mga Barangay of Metro Manila. Also, good friend, Barangay Captain Ancheta of Marikina. Director Philip. Ba't acting director pa lang? Pero director 2 ka na, no? Acting Director 3 of COMELEC, Attorney Jennifer Felipe. Meron pa ba ako hindi nabanggit dito? Later on, we'll have any opening statement, Senator Bato. Mahaba-haba po itong ating itatakal, mostly local bills. We would like to tackle first House Bill number 5568, an act creating a barangay known as the Barangay Guinhalinan, the municipality of Barobo, province of Surigao del Sur. We'll give the floor to the Deputy Speaker of Surigao, Congressman Johnny Pimentel. This was filed during the last Congress, but apparently this was not taken up during the last remaining days of the 17th Congress. Congressman?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may be allowed, I would like to read the explanatory note. It's just a short explanatory note, Mr. Chair, or maybe I just would like to earnestly seek the approval of this bill. House Bill number 5568 calls for the creation of Barangay Guinhalinan of Municipality of Barobo, Surigao del Sur. As mentioned by the chairman, this was filed last 17th Congress. So, Mr. Chair, this is the last barangay that has not been created in my district. So, therefore, Mr. Chair, I would like to seek the approval of this bill, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Ang mga tanong po rito, population, of course, more than 2,000 ito. Definitely, PSA, and then the good congressman can...
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have submitted already to the committee secretariat the necessary requirements and documents. We also submitted the certificate of population count as of August 1, or rather, yes, as of August 1, 2015, Mr. Chair. The PSA has certified that it has a population of 3,703 persons, Mr. Chair.
So more than the 2,000 requirement provided for by the local government code. COMELEC, there was a plebiscite conducted.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair. I'd also like to inform the body that a plebiscite was conducted in August 1. August 1, 1979, Mr. Chair.
So we believe everything is in order. Pero I was given a note, siguro mamaya pag-uusapan natin to, there is a violent reaction, objection coming from the Lands Management Bureau. Bakit ganon? Ano yung teka muna. Ah, pa- meron ba silang ano? Management Bureau from the legal division of LMB kasi nakapasa na to sa 17th Congress eh.
Good morning, Your Honors.
Nakapasa na to sa House ngayon. So any objection here?
Initially, Your Honor, we do not object actually with the passage of House Bill 5568. However, Your Honor, we would like to raise some suggestions, Your Honor, with respect to the draft bill, Your Honor, which is in the draft bill, Your Honor, what is stated, Your Honor, is that the technical description, Your Honor, of the barangay intended to be created, but only a general boundary description, Your Honor.
What should have been done? Di ba tama sufficient na itong territorial boundaries? Ito lang yung requirement ng batas?
Sir, Your Honor, under the IR of the local government code, the meets and bounds of the barangay intended to be created, yun po yung dapat nakalagay natin sa
Ano ba yung nakalagay dito?
with respect to the House Bill or
Kasi nung
the draft
17th
bill.
Congress, if I may interrupt you, 17th Congress, dalawa yung barangay na kinreate sa Surigao. And then apparently ito lang yung naiwan because of the it was overtaken by the BARM approval among others. So talagang lack of material time. So yung isang barangay na approve ito naiwan. So anong kulang dito?
Your Honor, with me is Engineer Bunuen for the technical matters, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. When we evaluate the technical, general technical boundaries of the draft, sir, and we find out that it will be carved out from Barangay Javier, if that is correct, sir. So, it should be the boundary line between the remaining barangay, the mother barangay, and the proposed barangay should be properly delineated or identified, sir. So, and then after delineating the boundary line between the remaining and the proposed barangay, then the actual survey will come in, and then the technical description of the boundary of the proposed barangay will be identified or properly done.
1979 pa to na carve out eh. So bakit ngayon lang yung ano nyo? Do you have any substitute geodetic survey that can attest to what you're saying is correct na dapat hindi ako technical eh, siguro si Congressman can respond.
Mr. Chair, I don't know if they have already received a copy. Actually, we have submitted to the COMSEC the detailed technical description, and you have there in your table. Kindly see the technical description. Probably you have not received a copy of that. Yan po, kasi kompleto na yan, pinasurvey na ho natin. That is true, it is carved out from Javier, pero kompleto po yung technical description natin. Pinasurvey na ho natin yan, Mr. Chair. So, I suggest that we will furnish you a copy of that. Nandyan ho, baka hindi ho kayo nabigyan. Nandyan yung mga boundaries, nandyan yung location.
A copy of the new geodetic survey para mabigyan si na engineer.
Actually, sir, only 4 o'clock, I think, na-receive po namin yung invitation, and we downloaded the House Bill on the internet. So, we checked the boundaries, and there are there are lot numbers indicated in the draft bill. However, it should be properly, because the requirements is a meets and bounds, wherein it should be identified by direction and distance from point to point. So, yung kasi nandito po sa draft is only a general boundary description, wherein sinasabi lang po niya na yung ito yung makatabi.
But I assume this was prepared by a geodetic surveyor, di ba? Kasi technical din naman to eh. So,
Chair, I
yes,
suggest na
Congressman.
tignan muna nila yung document namin kung that will suffice.
This is only the general, yung sinasabi po namin na general boundary description po, yung adjacent, dinedefine niya po yung mga adjacent
Meron daw bago?
adjoining.
Meron daw bago na ano? Meron ba
Wala
kayong
po.
ibang kopya?
So what exactly, Mr. Chair, do you require? Mr. Chair, we'd like to know from the LMB because when in the 17th Congress, when we submitted our bill for approval in this and the local government committee of the Senate, it's the same document that we gave for the creation of Barangay Kumawas. That was in the 17th Congress. It was approved. I do not see any reason, Mr. Chair, why the LMB at that time did not request for another document. This is the same document that we have submitted, and it was approved during the 17th Congress. I do not understand why LMB will now raise a question with regards to the requirements.
Kaya ano to, mag-table survey ang LMB to validate the survey made by the group of Congressman Pimentel, considering that this was already approved during the 17th Congress, and without prejudice to the submission of your tabletop survey, I think we can proceed with this. Senator Bato, ano kayang, kasi na-approve na ito ng 17th Congress eh. So, sagutin niyo muna yung tanong ni Deputy Speaker. Bakit yung sa 17th Congress, yung isang barangay, same province, same LGU, na-approve. Pero napirmahan na ni Presidente. Tapos ito, you are now opposing.
We don't oppose the passage of the law, sir, pero we just manifest that the technical description should be properly identified, sir, to avoid future conflict between another LGU, another barangay. Because we also seen in the approved political boundary map of Barobo that there is a versus between Barobo and Tagbina. Boundary conflict, sir. So, wherein it is
Tagbina, what is Tagbina?
Tagbina, Surigao del Sur. Yes, yes, sir. So, we don't know how to identify the boundary lines between the remaining area or remaining barangay and their proposed. So, there should be a delineation and delimitation, sir, to be conducted.
Senator Bato is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I know from LMB kung itong barangay ba ito talaga situated doon sa conflict area na pinag-agawan ng dalawang munisipyo o malayo? Kasi kung malayo, bakit kailangan pa natin i-settle muna yung boundary dispute ng dalawang munisipyo kung nasa labas ito?
Sir, or your respect, sir, kaya nga po kailangan natin ipa-identify muna po dun sa LGU kung saan yung proposed na location or geographic position ng barangay na create bago i-survey para po hindi po kasi kami yung mag-identify, sir, ng pinopropose na barangay. So hindi namin alam kung dito, as per kung lang po namin, sir, is parang kasama siya as per evaluation dun sa nakadraft dun sa bill.
Ang pinag-uusapan dito, Barangay Guinhalinan to be carved out from Barangay Javier. Ang sinasabi mo naman ngayon, conflict between Barobo and what's the other one? Tagbina. O saan nakalagay doon si Barangay Guinhalinan? Sa Barobo 'yon, di ba? So this is an intra-Barobo adjustment which will not affect the case between Barobo and the municipality of Tagbina. Tama ba 'yon? Si Guinhalinan hindi located sa Tagbina. Sa Barobo lang siya.
Yes, sir, but maybe I cannot identify if the proposed barangays will be the versus area will be incorporated or will be added in the new proposed Ginhalungan, sir, barangay Ginhalungan.
The good congressman is here na, sir, hindi naman kasali sa Tagbina versus Barobo itong Guinhalinan.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, this Barangay Guinhalinan was already created in 1979 by the provincial government of Surigao del Sur. But under the local government code, the entity that creates the barangay will the one provide funds. And that is why I am filing a bill for the creation of this barangay so that they will be entitled to the internal revenue allotment. Now, since 1979, that's almost more than 30 years, there has been never any complaint from, as we have said, there's a boundary conflict. There has never been a case that has been filed against this barangay with regards to the boundaries. As I've said, this has been in existence for 31 years, and I have not received, when I was governor, in fact, I have not even received a complaint from the neighboring barangay, from the neighboring municipalities with regards to the boundaries. And I have said, Mr. Chair, has been clearly stated here, but probably the LMB would like to have a clearer picture of the map. But with regards to the points, it is clearly here stated that in the north, Barangay Javier, and so forth and so on. In the east, Barangay Batunan, and Barangay Javier. But if the LMB would like for us to present another map, we would do so. But in the meantime, Mr. Chair, as per their comments, they are not opposing. They just want to have it delineated. So my suggestion, Mr. Chair, if the chair would approve it, we earnestly is requesting for the approval of this, subject to the submission of the new map, if that will satisfy their requirements.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Engineer, when can you submit because we are not dealing here with the case involving Tagbina and what's the name again? Barobo Municipality. Wala tayo doon. It may last a lifetime. It might reach the Supreme Court. It might be the same as Makati versus Taguig. Wala tayong pakialam doon. What we are delineating right now by virtue of a legislative fiat is to carve out a barangay from Barangay Javier, which under the local government code, Congress is empowered to do so without prejudice to the outcome of that case between Javier and Tagbina and Barobo. So let us separate those two issues. So what the Deputy Speaker is asking is for the committee to proceed without prejudice to the submission of your meets and bounds geodetic survey with the bearings. Siguro yung sinasabi nyo. So when can you submit that?
Your Honor, please. In fact, we already drafted a letter referring this matter to our regional office, Region 13, Your Honor. And with that, Your Honor, we would like to ask the participation of the honorable proponent in order for him to identify the actual barangay to be created, Your Honor.
May mapa dito si Congressman eh. Alam mo yung nabanggit kong case kanina, yung Taguig versus Makati, magkaibang LGU yun eh. Ito, Surigao del Sur din naman to eh. May boundary dispute lang siguro. Walang pagkakaiba nung boundary dispute namin sa Talisay, Laurel, Batangas, 30 years na. Hanggang ngayon, boundary dispute pa rin. Di ba? Yung boundary ng Tagaytay. So, I think it will not, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of the majority floor leader, Senator Mig Zubiri. So, let's delineate the issues. When can you submit?
Your Honor, we can, as much as we want to commit, Your Honor, we cannot commit since we have to refer this to our regional office, Your Honor. They are the one who is capable, Your Honor, to make this or to provide a technical description, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I'd just
Deputy
like to
Speaker.
interject. I have here I just want to seek clarification. What exactly document or requirement are you needing? Because from my documents that we have submitted here, we have already heard the technical description. Hindi ba ito ang technical description? Also the map, we also have it here.
The technical description, sir, is comprised of the bearings and distance, defining the boundaries, the extreme boundary of a political or a barangay or a municipality.
So may I know, Mr. Chair, if you will be the one undertaking that or the barangay itself that is being proposed to be created?
Actually,
Siguro mas capable kayo yung office talaga, di ba?
onto the actual survey, sir, the execution of the survey, sir, the DNR could be top, but the delineation, the identification of the exact boundary line between the mother barangay and the this should be identified by the LGU, sir.
The Deputy Speaker now is appealing for you to facilitate, fast track, whatever tabletop survey, geodetic survey will be required, is required. But I don't see any reason why we should delay this. Yun sinabi rin ni Senator De La Rosa, and I'm asking the opinion of our other colleagues, Senator Mig Zubiri. Senator Mig, ang naging issue kasi dito, may hinihingi pa silang isang document, but this was already approved by the 17th Congress. Hindi lang nakahabol because of the BARM enactment. So, barangay niya eh. So, I think that without prejudice to the submission, we hear Senator Zubiri.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Actually, these are all vetted out already in the House of Representatives. My personal opinion, to be honest about it, pag local bill, dapat House of Representatives na eh. And in my personal opinion, because they're the ones who know best their situation in their locality. The chairman being a mayor, I being a former congressman of 3 terms, we respect the decision in the House. Usually, pagka ganyan, Chairman, we give outright leeway already to our colleagues in the House of Representatives. And at the proper time, I would like to move for the approval of these local bills, Mr. Chairman. If you accept my motion today, for now, because he's my kababayan, my idol, and my barkada in Mindanao, Congressman Pimentel, Sir Johnny, is a extremely hardworking public servant, and ito po ay maliit lang na konsuelo para sa kanyang distrito na matulungan natin yung mga tao niya sa Barobo, Surigao del Sur, ako mga silingan. So I therefore move for its approval, Mr. President, the creation of this barangay.
Motion coming from the majority leader.
Before I second the motion, Mr. Chairman, I would like to just a trivial question to the author of this House bill. Kung alam ba ng author yung ibig sabihin ng Guinhalinan? Ano ba? Is that a native Surigao word or a Visayan word? Guinhalinan. Parang nabintahan o palagi
No, actually,
nahalinan?
I think it's a plant that they call locally. I'm not very sure. But Mr. Chair, I assure you and the members of the Senate that there has been no problem with regards to the boundaries of this, because it has been in existence for the past 32 years already, 1979. So I believe that there will be no problem if ever this panel will approve this bill. I assure you that being in the native of Surigao del Sur, I know what is happening in all the municipalities, and I assure you there will not be a problem with regards to the boundaries of this creation of this barangay.
With that, Mr. Chair, I
Mr.
second
Chairman,
the motion.
before we act on the motion, just to answer the query of the good gentleman, it might be an Ilonggo word. Kasi sa amin, di ba, originally taga Negros ako, yung halin, gikan. Sa ato, gikan. Sa Ilonggo, halin. So, galing sila doon. Parang, doon sila galing. Parang,
Sa Cebuano naman, parang nakapagbinta. Nakapagbinta. Halin ba? Halin. Tindahan ba? Halinan.
Bisaya is halin is
Ginhalinan.
benta. Sa Ilonggo
Nabintahan.
is galing.
Halinan.
Yeah. Baka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I second the motion.
House Bill number 558, creating a barangay to be known as Barangay Guinhalinan in the municipality of Barobo, province of Surigao del Sur, is hereby approved and referred to the plenary without prejudice to the submission of your tabletop geodetic survey. Wala na. Okay na. Salamat, sir. Pasensya na sa ano. Oh. So perhaps we can now dispense with the presence of the Deputy Speaker. We have two Deputy Speakers here. Deputy Speaker Gonzales also. Next. No objections coming from COMELEC, PSA? No objections? So we proceed to House Bill number 5692. COMELEC,
Sir, I'm
belated
sorry.
objection?
Yeah, no, it's not an objection, sir, but when we checked, sir, from the records of our election records and statistics department, we have no record, sir, of the proclamation of the Board of Canvassers regarding the result of the plebiscite, sir, conducted on August 1, 1979.
It was 1979.
Yes, sir. But I remember, sir, prior to this, I attended also another hearing where there is an 11 proposed barangays to be created. We have a record of those plebiscites conducted before, way before, although we have no available certifications. But this time, sir, we really have no record of the
It was not yet
plebiscite,
computerized
sir.
then.
Yes, sir, no.
Who was the COMELEC chairman, 1979?
I wasn't born that time, sir, so sorry. Sorry, sir.
So
Sorry, sir.
perhaps the Office of Secretary, the Deputy Speaker will provide
Yes,
the
sir.
COMELEC
Okay, sir.
with the
Just,
appropriate documentation.
Yes, sir. Just a manifestation, sir.
Thank
from
you, Attorney Felipe. PSA, 2,500 yun, di ba? Walang problema sa population. 2,000?
Good morning.
Approve na to eh. Oh.
I just would like to clarify that the 3,703 population cited was that for Barangay Javier. I mean, the mother barangay. Because Barangay Guinhalinan doesn't exist yet in our list of barangay based on the population census. But our estimated population of this proposed barangay is 1,724 as of 2015 based on the 2015 census.
2020 na ngayon.
Yes. So it's possible that this increased, but we do not have official figures yet.
Mr. Chairman, okay lang yun. Sa amin sa Bukidnon, I have barangays with 400 people. It's a barangay. 2,000, 1,700 is more than sufficient.
Manifestation of PSA. We'd like to acknowledge the arrival of one of the sponsors of the bills that will be tackled today, Senator Amy Marcos. The Mount Pinatubo Memorial Day, Congressman, okay na. Okay na tayo. So, teka muna, baka meron pa kayo. LMB. House Bill 5692, an act declaring June 15 of every year a special non-working holiday in the province of Pampanga to be known as Mount Pinatubo Memorial Day. Congressman, Deputy Speaker Gonzales, you have the floor.
Salamat, Mr. Chairman, to our Majority Leader Zubiri, Chairman Senator Tol Tolentino, and Senator Bato, and of course, Senator Marcos. Well, this proposed House Bill filed in 14th Congress, 15, 16, 17, 18. Naka-apat na chairman na po to, no? Well, I just want to give you a little background. This is the second biggest eruption of in the century, the volcano, this Mount Pinatubo. This Mount Pinatubo, 29 years na po. In June 15, 1991, pumutok po to. Walang media, walang tumutulong na international. Unlike now, maraming tumutulong. So ito, pinapakita lang po ng mga Kapampangan, yung mga Pilipino, how they are resilient to fight kung baga sa kalamidad, nagkakaisa, nagtutulungan ang mga Pilipino, lalo na yung mga Kapampangan. Every year, June 15 is holiday na po sa Pampanga. Pero gusto namin gawing isang batas para lalo na we're just getting an executive order from the palace to become a holiday in Pampanga. And we have only 1 or 2 holiday in Pampanga, the Jose Abad Santos Day, and this Pampanga Day every December 11 and May 7, the Jose Abad Santos. So, Mr. Chair, I hope and pray na sana po this 18th Congress na-approve po sa committee level in this committee. Pagdating sa floor, medyo may konting discussion. So, that's the will of each and every one of us. So, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and to our resource persons. And sana po, I earnestly filed this House bill to become a Republic Act, to become a law. Salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
The committee would like to take notice of Proclamation 735, signed by the Executive Secretary last year, June 11, 2019, declaring Saturday, June 15, 2019, a special non-working day in the city of Angeles, province of Pampanga. So dinideclare naman po ito, Deputy Speaker, kaya lang ngayon, whole province na yung hinihiling ninyo. But we'd like to get the comments of the majority leader, considering that there were some issues raised during the 17th Congress as to the viability of declaring non-working holidays. So with the institutional knowledge of Senator Zubiri, perhaps he can guide this committee as well.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was a consensus in the 17th Congress because umalma din ang employers for too many holidays in the Philippines. If we allowed too many holidays, if you looked at it with applications for holidays, almost every day there will be a holiday in the Philippines, somewhere in the Philippines. So, which we all know, being a businessman myself, and Deputy Speaker Pimentel is also a businessman, pag holiday yan, you pay, it's double pay. So, may impact yan sa employers. But ako, to be honest, I err on the side of the local officials. Kasi galing din tayo may probinsya din tayo. So we understand the plight of our local legislators in terms of wanting to celebrate a particular day, of course as a holiday. That's why ako, wala akong problema. And even when I was a majority leader in the 14th Congress, we passed a lot of holidays. Pag upo ni Senator Frank, our dear minority floor leader, that has been his personal stand, and it was adopted by the 17th Congress at the same time, adopted by Senator Angara. Although, without prejudice, we can pass it on committee level as a holiday, a non-working holiday, and then allow our distinguished colleague to make appeals to our colleagues because we're a deliberative body naman, Mr. Chair. Pwede naman yan pagdebatihan at pagbotohan. So, with that, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, I move that we, it's been approved how many congresses na? 4 congresses na. Baka 18 is his lucky charm. Baka his lucky Congress. So, at least maybe we can approve it already on committee level and allow the people of Pampanga to enjoy that holiday, recognizing the volunteerism and the difficulties that they had gone through in the Pinatubo eruption. I know the good chairman has already gone through that hardship with Taal. So imagine now what they had to go through in Pinatubo, in Pampanga, which was, I think, even more devastating in terms of strength. So ako, Mr. Chairman, the proper time, if this is the proper time, I move for its approval on committee level, Mr. President.
And Mr. Chairman, may I
Senator Marcos
second the
recognized.
motion as well of Senator Subiri? If this is the proper time or at any later period, may I also endorse the House Bill 5692 for the Mount Pinatubo Memorial Day?
before we approve, I think I'd like to get a word from Dole. And with the permission of Senator Mix, I'll incorporate several of his statements as part of my sponsorship speech. And I will really fight for this alongside with the Yolanda Bill. Alam ko, mahirapan ako doon kasi binabawasan yung holiday, but I'll support this bill. Ms. Pasete of Dole? Who's the Dole representative? Wala? Wala yung Dole?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Good
yes.
morning, Your Honors. The Department of Labor and Employment understand the stand of Congressman, but we would like to reiterate our position in all bills proposing for special non-working holidays is that to limit our existing regular and special non-working holidays, as mentioned by our Senator Subiri, declaring regular or special non-working holidays has impact not only in the employers but also to employees. With this increasing number of regular holidays or special non-working holidays, the employers are burdened to pay additional premiums or holiday pay. On the side of the employees suffer. The rule that no work, no pay applies to them. That means that if we declare holiday, there will be no work, no earnings for that day. And that's it. In the alternative, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, we would like po to suggest to declare it as a special working day instead.
Miss Espinas, alam mo, dinideclare din naman talaga to ng presidente and every year. And as what was stated by Deputy Speaker Gonzales, first holiday ata nila to sa entire province of Pampanga or first holiday nila. And to offset yung sinasabi mong economic negativities, meron tourism tayo. Dadami yung pupunta sa Clark, dadami yung pupunta sa San Fernando, maraming bibili ng longganisa sa Angeles. So, lahat yun offset eh. Di ba? Not to mention that we recognize as what the majority floor leader said a while ago, we recognize the bravery of the ITAS, of the resettled families after that Pinatubo eruption. So siguro ma-offset yun, Ms. Espinas.
Okay, Mr. Chair, but I just manifested po our comments po on special non-working holidays.
Submit a position paper. There was a motion coming from Senator Marcos. We'd like Senator De La Rosa to, if you have any.
Before I second the motion of Senator Amy Marcos, Mr. Chair, anyway, I just would like to duli ka, Ma'am Espinas. Anyway, Pampanga lang naman, hindi man buong Pilipinas, pagbigyan natin. Di ba? hindi man buong Pilipinas yun, Pampanga lang. At saka isang araw lang. I really share the view of the good chairman about yung trade-off ng benefits at saka yung losses ng pag-declare ng holiday. Isang araw lang naman. So, Mr. Chair, I hereby second the motion of Senators Amy Marcos and our Majority Floor Leader.
We have a motion. 692 as a Mount Pinatubo Memorial Day for every June 15th of the year. Without objection, this committee hereby approves the same and refers the same to the plenary. Pwede na kayo? Pwede na.
Mr. Chairman, we'd like to thank the deputy speakers.
Two
Imagine we have
deputy-
two deputy
two
speakers
deputy
here
speakers.
today.
We go to the third bill to be tackled before, third holiday bill. House Bill number 5862, declaring,
Mr. Chairman, I realize, although the author is not here, the brother is here. But may I do the honor, Mr. Chairman, of moving for the calendaring of this measure so that out of delicadeza, the chairman will not say it is his own. Mr. Chairman, I move that we take up House Bill
With the
number...
permission of Senator Zubiri, I recognize the members of the Sangguniang Lungsod of Tagaytay. Can you please rise to be recognized? Oh, dito naman yung mga
Hello,
konsehal eh.
I met some of them. I think we were together, ma'am. Yeah, during the during the Taal evacuees.
Thank you.
Mr.
Senator
Chairman,
Siguri.
if you will give me the honor and pleasure, and I'm saying this with honor and pleasure because your brother, the congressman, happens to be my boss in the POC. I am an NSA head of the ARNIS, and he is my president. So I would like to do the honor, Mr. President, to move to take up House Bill number 5682 and in the proper time move for its approval, immediate approval, Mr. President.
Majority Leader, there is a representative here from a resource person from the League of Cities of the Philippines, Ms. Monterde.
Yes, sir.
Any comments relative to this bill and the previous bills which we
Sir-
just adopted?
Sir, the LCP poses no objection on this bill, hence we fully support the intent of this bill, Your Honor.
Any second to the approval of this bill?
Mr. Chair, I second the motion.
So House Bill number 5682, an act declaring June 21 of every year a special non-working holiday in Tagaytay City, province of Cavite, in commemoration of its foundation day, to be known as the Charter Day of Tagaytay City, Araw ng Tagaytay, amending for that purpose Republic Act number 10775 is hereby adopted and referred to the plenary.
Congratulations, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We
I
can
believe that should be a non-working holiday.
non-working
We should
holiday.
fight for that.
Siguro,
Congratulations.
same comments coming from the DOLE, and
Yes,
we'll
Mr. Chair.
incorporate that in the committee report. We now tackle two important measures. The sponsors are here. The sponsors are here. We have the potable water supply system bills. Senate Bill 103 filed by Senator Zubiri, Senate Bill 1002 filed by Senator Binay, Senate Bill 1003 filed by Senator Pacquiao. The resource persons are here, DILG is here, DOH is here, DPWH is here. For Senate Bill 1002, we have the SWD and a representative. 1003, we have LUA, the LG, and DPWH. We'd like to hear some words from the sponsor, the good Senator Mig Zubiri.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, first of all, on the onset, I would like to thank Chairman Tolentino. I believe this is the second or the third hearing on this issue, on this topic. Of course, I'd like to recognize my colleagues, Senator Amy Marcos and Senator Bato de la Rosa, and of course to our colleagues in the House of Representatives. To everyone, pleasant good morning from the different agencies of government. Good morning, sirs and ma'ams. First of all, napakalaga sa atin yung malinis na tubig na mabibigay po natin sa ating mga kababayan sa sulok-sulukan ng ating bansa. We don't have that problem here in Metro Manila. Actually, sometimes I kid around with our colleagues from Metro Manila who have very good and potable water systems. But in the provinces, for example, in Bukidnon, in a barangay, for example, in Kisawa, in Kibawe, or Santa Filomena in Quezon, or Sinuda in Kitaw-Taw, that is the Bukidnon-Davao boundary, they are, kung sa Tagalog pa, uhaw na uhaw sa malinis na tubig. Their water system are simple, either deep well. Sa amin nga, mahirap nga ang deep well because we're highly elevated province. We are in an elevated plateau. The lowest portion of Bukidnon is 1,000 feet above sea level. So imagine how difficult it is to dig. And so what do? They either drink from the rivers, the streams, or from a spring source. And this spring source, hinahaluan na yan ng pinaliliguan ng karabaw, pagpapasukan ng fertilizer ng iba't ibang pinyahan at banana plantation. Kaya sila ay na urea na. Pag iniinom nilang tubig, energized sila kasi may halong urea at fertilizer, triple complete fertilizer ang kanilang iniinom. Which poses a lot of problems from anywhere between schistosomiasis, anywhere from cholera to even cancer. And it's been proven that in some highland areas where bananas and apples have been planted, if you do a study out of several years, a lot of incidences of cancer have sprouted out in these areas. There's actually a documentary about it. And so we really have to have play an active role na pagandahin o palinisin ang tubig na iniinom ng ating mga kababayan dyan. This is also true for Davao del Sur, where my distinguished colleague from Davao del Sur is from, Senator Bato de la Rosa. This is also true for Ilocos, the Ilocos region. And, you know, Senator Aimee not only represents Region 1, but she also represents 2 and CAR and Cordilleras. And Region 8. And Region 8 also has a problem, Samar and Leyte. There are barangays there with no potable water. What we're asking, Mr. Chairman, is not to set up a council like the very highly debated Bamboo Council, which until now, after 2 months or 1.5 months, we're still debating on the floor. And we still have not actually decided on this council. Yung walang kamatayan na bamboo, akala ko kahapon mamamatay na talaga dahil tatanggalan ng isang malaking provision. What we want to do is actually, Mr. Chairman, is actually institutionalize lang yung pagbibigay ng programa. Because I know the DILG and Mr. Leysa is agreeing with me. We have the Salin Tubig and it's been successful even in Bukidnon. They've given a few projects, pero kulang. I mean, they go town per town, hindi naman nabibigyan lahat ng barangay. So, if we support this program, institutionalize it, whoever the president who sits there in the future in 2022, 2028, nandyan pa rin ang pondo similar to the NEA, Energization Program, yung Rural Electrification Program, na ngayon, 100% ng energize ang barangays. Pero when I started in 1998 as congressman, 20% pang hindi pa na-energize. But after 20 years, they energized all the barangays, fully energized. So, if we have this program, Mr. Chair, that is institutionalized with a little amount to start with, we can make sure that by maybe 2030 or 2040, all barangays, whether it is Class A, Class B, Class C, will have level 3. When you say level 3 water system, hanggang sa bahay po nila ay may gripo. Happy na nga sila sa level 2 na may communal, basta malinis. Basta malinis siya, communal, paeg na rin sila pumunta dun sa communal faucet para magkuha ng tubig. So, yun lang po. I won't take that much of our time, Mr. Chairman, and I appeal to my colleagues for this support.
Thank you, Senator Zubiri. In fact, I totally agree with the good sponsor. In fact, there are even health issues involved here. Yes, I can recount speaking in several events that a lot of our pupils are late for school because mag-iigib pa. A lot of our pupils are absent and getting low grades because of intestinal diseases. Kasi yung naiigib nilang tubig. So relative to low grades among others. So this is a very important bill, but with the permission of my colleagues, may mga reactions ang DPWH. DPWH, ang nilagay nyo rito, your position paper states that the 3-year program is too short to implement the accelerated program. To ensure sustainability, there should be a careful planning, etc., etc. So, DPWH, it was signed by, sino ba nagpadala nito? Undersecretary for Operations sa DAIN. Are you aware of your position paper? So, ano yung objections nyo pang iba rito? Yung tatlong bills na ito. And later on, with the permission of my colleagues, I'll be turning over the chair to my vice chair, Senator Aimee Marcos, to tackle the disaster officer bill as well as the matching grant bill which she sponsored, and to enable this representation to actively participate. So mamaya si Senator Aimee Marcos na mag-chair after the explanation of DPWH. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes.
Good morning. Yeah, one of the comments is that the 3-year program is too short because I think you are also familiar now with, we have a Clean Water Act and we know the current situation of our water sources in the Philippines. We have too many rivers that are polluted, that constrains our choices for the water sources. And as Senator Sibiri has explained that for areas, there is really difficulty in getting groundwater as a source. And it's true also for small island provinces or areas. So we have to do careful planning in what will be most appropriate source. We are looking also into integrated water resources management. So we want to ensure that if we are giving water for these people, the water source or water supply should be sustainable, meaning to say, yeah, groundwater could dry up if it's too much extraction. So if each barangay, generally speaking in the water code, we have at least the 200-meter distance because you will be competing for the same aquifer. But maybe because if the barangays will be far from each other, we could be looking at good groundwater sources. Per per inventory, I think per publication of the before, about 58% of our drinking water source is actually groundwater. But there are areas wherein we should not use groundwater anymore, particularly if there are already problems on saltwater intrusion, and there are also incidences of land subsidence. So it can cause that problem. We at DPWH is currently doing a study in Zamboanga for a multipurpose dam wherein it will handle the problem of the water supply, flood control, and also flood control. So for sustainable water reservoir and this storage, there is a need to ensure that the catchment area, meaning to say the area that gives you the supply of the water, to be maintained. And that is a concern also at the moment because you also know that some of these watersheds are being inhabited. There are so many other laws like ancestral domains and IPs that live there and contributes to the watershed. So what we are just saying is DPWH supports the implementation, of course, these water projects, but we should look at a long-term vision wherein the sustainability not only of the system, the quantity and the quality of the water will be there.
Proposing, ma'am, pag yung mga barangay may kanya-kanyang potable water system, there has to be a clear oversight in terms of all of this. All of these barangays getting just from one source, for instance, in a province, from one stream, from one waterfall. So, ano yung gusto nyong?
Yes, sir. At the moment, for level 3 water systems, most of those like operated by water districts, they have already the water permit from the National Water Resources Board, which gives that permit to use that water. So for some barangays, their water source that is already good have been tapped already by these water abstractors. It also follows with other, for example, the power. They have also water rights within the river basin, as well as the NIA, for that matter, for irrigation, yeah. So actually, that is already an existing problem for some of the areas. So what?
There is also a DILG project, yung mga salintubig, luwa. So how do you propose to synchronize all of this?
At first, there is already an inventory of different water sources. So maybe, but it's not site-specific for some. Meaning to say, for instance, each barangay, they should identify the water sources that are available for them, from rainwater to river or to groundwater or spring. Spring is a very good source. You just have to enclose it and then you could, yeah. Meron po tayo marami, I think Mindanao, both of our honorable senators are from Mindanao. There is a huge availability of free-flowing well or free-flowing water. Ito po yung spring na tuloy-tuloy na tumatagas.
That's a finite source.
Hindi po.
Eventually, magda-dry up din yon, di ba?
Yun nga po yung isa sa aming comments na you enclose this spring. Unfortunately, yun pong catchment area or yung watershed na nagsusupply ng tubig sa spring is not managed sometimes. Kasi nga marami pong stakeholders sa watershed. So kung nasira po yung ating vegetation doon, may mga ibang gumagamit, tama po kayo na it could dry up. And depending on the population that will use it, hindi po siya
So
ma-sustainable.
you're saying dapat yung potable water for barangay depende sa population. Bawa 3,000, sila lang ang pwede. Ganun ba yan?
Hindi naman po. It will depend on the water source. What I'm just saying is, pwede po kasi ang isang water source sa isang munisipyo could only be one barangay as long as it has the quantity and the quality that could provide. It does not necessarily
With the
have to be
permission of my
doon.
colleagues, my records, and DILG can validate this, there are 455 waterless municipalities. Municipalities na yun. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga barangay nun, wala rin tubig. Kaya tama si Senator Subiri na kailangan madaliin magkaroon yung barangay. And I hope DILG will validate that. I am now turning over the chairmanship to Senator Amy Marcos.
Okay, this is a surprise, but thank you very much. I fully support the effort of Senator Subiri, our majority leader, as well as Senators Pacquiao and Binay. However, we are also aware that there is already a 1.5 billion project called the Salintubig, which unfortunately has been implemented almost erratically. Kasi sobrang konti ng pera eh. Mahirap i-divide. It will always be unfair kasi hindi talaga sapat. At alam naman natin, may luwa pa. Kaya tamang-tama yung Department of Water po natin kasi napakagulo talaga ng sitwasyon. So I recommend that there be a TWG to study the considerations of Public Works as well as DILG who are on top of the Salintubig program already, and perhaps a representative from LUA as well as the water districts throughout the country to add and specify the requirements such as the distance for the deep water wells so that we do not continuously deplete the aquifer and so on. So kung okay, sa ating
Actually, to
sponsor,
add to that, yeah.
mag-TWG na tayo.
Actually, that's absolutely correct. I was going to move for that, and I thank the good Senator Marcos for that. Ano pa to eh, we're in the baby stage, so at TWG, wherein all these agencies will get together, brainstorm, and will come out who will be the implementing agency. I think those are the issues. Who will be the implementing agency? I guess on the ground, the construction will be the DPWS because they have no capability. I know that what the DILG does with Salintubig, if I'm not mistaken, they bid out the project. They get the they get the of course the consensus in the community. They do the surveys. So we have to discuss that. Sino ba sa inyo ang manatili na maging lead agency para meron tayong go-to agency? At the same time, Chairman, tama sinabi ni engineer, it's unique per area. It could be a river source. Like for example, the dam in Iloilo of that's spearheaded by Senator Drilon, Larawi, it's a big dam. They're going to irrigate about 20,000 hectares of rice land. What is it called, ma'am? Laur Dam. That is also going to be a water source. They're also going to use that for clean water. So they're going to treat the water. So pwedeng ganun din, river source. Pwede din po siyang deep well in certain areas na lowland areas, pwedeng deep well. Ang importante is mag-usap-usap yung mga ahensya para mailabas natin yung final version for approval in the committee, which will answer all these questions. Who will be the lead agency? Who will be the implementing agency? How will they be able to identify areas na walang tubig? How will they treat the municipal water needs to the barangay water needs? Because there are some barangays that don't rely anymore. Katulad sa amin, sa Davao and Ilocos and in Bukidnon, may barangay na malayo sa city. For example, may barangay ang Davao City, malayo sa poblasyon. So they have to set up their own water source. Oops. So, yes, sayang ang tubig. Nahulog yung tubig, sayang yung tubig. So, these are things that has to be planned. And I agree also with engineer, Mr. Chairman, that we have to extend the period. I think the 3 years was a very ambitious number. It may be between 5 to 10 years actually before we can see a completion of potable water. Mr. Chairman. Maybe we can recognize the DILG, Mr. Chairman, before we move for the TWG.
Just to add to the confusing conversation, the DILG can probably validate this. Yung Salintubig, kasali rin ang NAPSI as the lead coordinating agency, and the lead implementing agency is the Department of Health. Department of Health. I have it here. Salintubig, Department, I have it here. DOH will take the lead in the implementation of the infrastructure component, including the review. And DILG will be responsible for the capacity development requirements of the LGUs. So, DOH pala. Is that correct? Because of the NAPSI convergence program?
So, Your Honor, DOH is not handling the Salintubig at this moment. It was handled only in 2009, but it was transferred to DPWH. Yeah po. Yes,
Yeah, regarding the conversion, Your Honor, yung convergence kasi ni Salintubig, is, I think that's 2009, it's the lead agency is DOH. But on 2012, nilipat na po siya sa DILG. And speaking of the Salintubig experience, the DILG, interesting lang po yung bill, Mr. Chairman, because for the record, the department supports the bill 100% because it is coincide with the trust of the department. Kasi po si Salintubig is aimed to provide water supply to the waterless. Pero yung definition natin sa waterless, yung at least less than ng 50% ng population is walang access sa safe water. And I'd like to note on the water source, Mr. Chairman, I agree with DPWH. So talagang nanganganib yung source. Kaya dapat hindi lang isang source yung tatarget, hindi lang groundwater. In fact, for DILG Salintubig, yung technology ngayon is tinitingnan na rin yung surface water, which is currently we have engagement with NEDA. May kinakandak pong bulk water supply study ngayon sa Zamboanga. Because Zamboanga Peninsula is one of the considered na water stress in terms of water source. So sinida po nag-fund, ongoing ngayon yung study sa bulk water supply. Ang pinaka-idea po noon is to determine...
Validate my earlier statement na merong 455 waterless communities nationwide.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Pero as of now, sir, is based for the... Kasi C455 po kasi, that's MDG, yung Millennial Development Goal before na target. Yeah, yung 50%. But as of now po, sir, yung 455 is nababa na po natin under the Salintubig program. Meron na lang pong naiwan na 60 municipalities. Yes po, yes po. Pero po yung target po natin is hindi lang po 50% for na kasi may transition tayo with SDG na dapat 100% na lang ating population meron na access sa safe water. And on that note, tapusin ko pala yung bulk water supply. I think it's a good idea na makumplito yung study kasi it will address, kasi hindi po kaya ng barangay lang or maging independent si munisipyo, kanya-kanyang develop ng source. So it's high time na magkaroon ng planning na mayroong bulk water supply that will, kung hindi man kaya ng munisipyo, a group of municipalities in the province perspective, na yun na po ang ma-manage in terms of supply para po sa distribution, kanya-kanya munisipyo na. But we have this stable source. So, we are waiting for the result ng FS, ng bulk water supply, and possibly, yun ang magiging pong basis. And in terms po sa target, we agree po doon na hindi lang po short term. Because we have the SDG na by 2030, supposed to be under goal number 6, 100% na po yung access natin. I think it's a good reference. Si SDG po natin, na by 2030, maging basis po, maging reference po sa targeting. Kasi yan din po ang...
Sabi mo kanina, 60 na lang out of the 455 na municipalities ang waterless.
Yes,
But my
yes, sir.
figures coming from NEDA and coming from the other agencies, 9 million Filipino households without faucets. Paano nangyari yun? Pinagkasya mo yung 60, yung
Hindi
9
po, sir.
million doon sa 60 municipalities?
To explain, yung munisipyo meron, yung barangay wala. May mga munisipyo kami ganun eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yung
Out of
isa
the
din
20
po dyan
barangays,
is-
5 lang, which is the poblasyon, north, south poblasyon. Paglabas mo, wala nang kanya-kanyang tubig na dun.
And the data, Mr. Chairman, is based on the target na ngayon po, the 100% access. While I'm talking for the 60 municipalities is yung under the MDG. Kaya po ang transition po ngayon is nandoon na po sa SDG by 2030. And yung POSET na figure is referring to the level 3. Na ibig sabihin, lahat ng household may gripo na po sa kanilang bahay. And si MDG po kasi under the waterless concept is level 2 concept siya. That's why we go on to the transition na dapat level 3 na mayroon ng POSET bawat bahay ng bawat Pilipino.
Yes, I would just like to inquire from our good sponsor, papayag po ba kayo sa sinasabi ni Mr. Leisa? Kasi ang totoo, maliit masyado yung barangay at kada isa dyan magdi-deep well tulad ng sinabi ni Engineer Hipolito. So yung source, pwede sigurong i-identify, not even in the provincial level, sa probinsya namin kulang talaga yung tubig. So, nagsishare kami sa La Union, Abra, Ilocos Sur, at hanggang ngayon di pa natutuloy yung dam project. So, I'm wondering how this will work out and how we word it, but absolutely, every barangay has a human right to water.
No, absolutely. And the TWG, I believe all the bright boys of the DILG, bright men and ladies of the DILG, DPWH, the DOH could join because of the cleanliness issue, and come up, and the LUA and the NWRB, and come up now with a working draft. And that working draft will enumerate what I said earlier, who will identify the water source, who will identify the project recipient, proponent, who will implement. Napakalaga yan. We started many bills this way in simple drafts. After the technical working group, we have a comprehensive working draft na maganda, na that is sustainable. Importante dyan, sustainable. You're absolutely correct. Maybe we can do a 10-year program to be realistic about it and call it a name. We can either call it Salintubig, call it Potable Water Act, and what have you. But what is important, Mr. Chairman, and to my dear colleagues, is next year we know, if we pass it this year, next year we know somebody is moving that your barangays in your province has a fighting chance for a water project. We can submit recommendations. I could submit to the DILG. Now, any colleague of ours, whether it's senator or congressman or even mayor, can submit to the DILG, whoever the implementing agency will be. Now, these barangays have no water, please act on it. It is now their responsibility to act on it. Meron ng accountability because it's an institutional program of government.
May I suggest, just to fast track this, dagdagan natin ang budget sa 2021, yung Salintubig project, kasi absurd yung number na 1.5 billion. Right now, it's 1.5 billion. It's stagnated at that amount for the past 3 years, I believe. And at 1.5 billion, talagang walang nabibigyan. Away-away dyan. At sa kahit ano pang tumbling ang gawin mo, hindi talaga magiging pantay-pantay. Kulang masyado.
Madam colleague of ours, Madam Amy, and to our chairman, once we come up with a law that institutionalizes this, maybe we can double the amount because we already know that it will be properly handled, properly vetted out, and although it is properly handled now, but I'm saying we know that it's going to be moving forward faster.
Yes, I think the quicker way would just be to double up na nga sa Salintubig. So, thank you very much, and
I second the motion of Senator Amy. Oh, before.
yes,
But,
Mr. Leisa, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, idagdag ko lang po, it's a very welcome development kay DILG yung recommendation ni Senator Marcos, and thank you for that, ma'am. Kasi po, presently, medyo may kwan din kami sa Salintubig because since 2016, the fund given to the program is under the local government support fund. And just for the record, Mr. Chairman, in the coming 2022, yes, sir, and by 2022, the full implementation of Mandanas, I think parang mayroon siyang implication po. That's why we are worried with the program because kukunin po yung idadagdag dun sa IRA, dun, I don't know kung saan po manggagaling. And that's the point we are preparing din po, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
which brings me actually to the point of the Mandanas ruling and all the LGSF. Kasi yung susunod na bill, lahat yan magkatuhog-tuhog sa LGSF. Ang problema sa LGSF, as we know very well, yung una, yung conditional matching grant sa probinsya, tungkol yan sa mga kalsada. Ikalawa, itong salintubig, na sobrang liit naman, na kahit papano, lahat galit kay Mr. Leisa kasi wala na siyang ibibigay talaga. Tapos, yung ikatlo, yung LGSF naman na assistance to cities, tapos yung assistance to municipalities. Lahat yung apat na yan, sana we can find the rationalized system for 2021. At the same time, use it to begin the implementation of the Mandanas ruling. Siguro, mamuhunan na tayo dito sa mga project na to. Nandyan na yan sa DILG. Dagdagan na lang, sana madoble. Ayun, para hindi lamang sa salintubig, yung conditional matching grant for the provinces. And then, maybe a more reasonable set of guidelines. Kasi nga, ang requirement, seal of good government. Yung mga nangangailangan ng tubig, nangangailangan ng kalsada, yung kawawang-kawawang mga munisipyo, they cannot possibly comply with the requirements of the seal of good governance. Kaya nga hindi sila pumapasa, kulang na kulang sila sa lahat ng requisites. So perhaps we can study all this LGSF once and for all and somehow use it to be the first step in the full implementation of Mandanas.
With that, Mr. Chairman, I move that to second Senator Amy Marcos's motion to create the TWG using our staff together with the agencies to sit down and study how to strengthen this measure and to make it a working draft for our approval in the committee. So
Yes, thank you very much. Sandy, my ex-executive director in the Governors League.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, Senator, we fully support this measure. Yung medyo dagdagan lang po sana ng pondo. And I was about to say, with regard to the Mandanas decision nga, na eventually these funds will be used to augment the deficit in the computation of the ERA, which is now going to be called NATA or National Tax Allotment, hindi na po internal. It's based on all national taxes. So NATA na, nataas na, natama na, natagalan lang po talaga. So and we would like to take this opportunity, Madam Chair, to thank our dear former Governor Senator Amy because of there is this provision also in the budget in 2020. Section 87, the general provision on implementation of nationally funded projects. So this can also be one of the projects that can be identified, that can be downloaded already to the LGU, since water is a basic function devolved to the LGUs pursuant to the local government code section.
Yes, Sandy, if I may remind our colleagues, dun sa huling budget, nakasingit tayo ng automatic and direct release of national projects. And this can be for public works, for DA, DOH, parang first step para makapag-practice na tayo. So, in order not to deplete the national expenditure program of President Duterte, what we can do is perhaps the other projects that are implementable by provinces, cities, and municipalities, i-download na sa kanila with very stringent measures and a strong monitoring and evaluation framework in place. Yun.
So, ma'am, ang suggestion namin is sali sana kami sa Salintubig TWG because the LGU should also be well represented. Actually, in any identification of national projects, there should be prior consultation, Section 2 of the code. And our role should not merely be just delegated to participate
because even in the identification of these projects, it should be recommended themselves by the LGUs. And according to Governor Velasco, who is our president now, he is of the belief that these types of projects should prioritize the 4 to 6 class LGUs. Opo.
Yes, okay. Okay lang yung identification from LGU. Pero ang problema dyan, ang liquidation. Ang record ng LGU kasi, ang sama-sama, natetenga ngayon ng DILG, nagsumasabit ang DOH, DA, DPWH, DSWD, lahat sumasabit dahil nga hindi tayo nakakapag-liquidate. Ang COA, dapat kausapin rin natin kasi dyan sa mga counterparting schemes na yan, gusto nila i-liquidate mo yung entire amount. Siyempre, hindi naman kaya ng department, hindi naman kaya i-liquidate yung ng LGU, talagang counterparting. Doon tayo nagkaka-trouble-trouble. So, thank you very much, Sandy. And perhaps with that, and duly seconded by the sponsor himself, we can do a TWG on the potable water systems for barangays. And I think I like to maintain the ambitious plan of a faucet in every barangay. Kahit sabihin natin suntok sa buwan, mas maganda yung may pangarap. Sige po. So we will constitute the TWG immediately. Can we set a very aggressive deadline, please, for the first draft? Dahil kasi ang aga-aga po ng budget call. So sana, alam naman ng Public Works yan. Bago po mag-break ng March 12, 13, kung maaari, mag-produce ng first draft. First draft lang naman eh. Bubunuin pa yan sa Congress at sa Senate. Maganda sana, may first draft tayo. At kahit matagalan yung batas, may konting pera na.
Madam colleague and Mr. Chair, yung maganda po yung timeline para maipasok natin sa first regular session of Congress. Kasi I noticed, pag lumampas na yung mga bills natin to the second regular session and third, inaabutan na tayo ng election fever at nawawala na po yung mga batas. So this I think is very important. We want to continue the program of the DILG, the local governments, and the DPWH, DOH. So may I make a request that you already put in people in your TWG? Make sure, dito nagkakasisihan, yung nilalagay po nila minsan na tao dyan ay hindi makakadesisyon. So, pumupunta sila sa TWG and then they make recommendations. Pagdating ulit sa Mother Committee and we invite USECs, ASECs, and secretaries, dinideny. Sinasabi, hindi tama yung recommendation. So please, may I inform the agencies, please send people to the TWG that have your decision, can make decisions and that have your recommendations. Para hindi na sana magbawian pa after the draft is made. It has, through my many years, and we've been legislators for a while, many years of experience, that's what happens. So please send the people that can make the decisions for your department. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity. This will be a landmark measure of your committee. Thank you so much, sir.
Sige, pilitin natin 2 weeks, pwede first draft. Hindi, kahit pangit, kahit bullet points pa lang, ibubuo natin yan. Okay? Sige, thanks very much. At maraming salamat sa ating majority leader. Marami pang linalakad yan. FLR ang masaklap. And we have here the next measure, which is the provision of a disaster officer for every LGU. So, ang sponsor po natin, ang ating chairman, si Senator Revilla. Si Senator Revilla who's not here. Ngunit, sa lahat ng pinag-uusapan natin, napansin ko sa ating COMSEC, walang DBM representative dito. O sige, kung magpapadala ng position paper, dahil habang wala yung DBM, approve tayo ng approve. Pinagpepiestahan natin yung budget nila. Pagdating sa DBM yan, tanggal lahat yan. Patay tayo niyan. Kaya sana, dun sa TWG, make sure may budget representative. Kasi sa bandang huli, sayang lang trabaho kung ayaw nila talaga. So, isa yon. And I think that goes for the next measure. na dapat may permanent disaster officer. Yusek Halad po.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, honorable senators. First of all, I would like to thank the Senate for coming up with this bill to amend the local government code by proposing a permanent item for disaster officer in every local government unit. Section 12 of Republic Act 10121 provides that the local DRRM office shall be under the office of the governor, city, or municipal mayor, and the punong barangay in case of the Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Committee. The LDRRM offices shall be initially organized and composed of a DRRM officer to be assisted by 3 staff responsible for administration and training, research and planning, operations and warning. Hence, pursuant to RA 10121, the establishment of a local DRRM office and the creation of 4 DRRM positions are likewise
Yes, thank you very much, Yusek. We are aware of those laws.
Yes, sir. And in support of that, ma'am, the NDRMC, DILG, DBM, and CSC issued joint memorandum circular. And that circular provides for the salary grades as well as the minimum qualification standards of the DRM officers.
Yes, Yusek Halad, I think we cannot impose those same standards upon the LGUs. Walang mahahanap, walang magka-qualify niyan eh. Apakatindi ng mga standards dyan. Siguro, hingin natin sa civil service kung ano yung dapat na qualifications. Kasi medyo mabigat yung qualifications. Total hanggang regional level lang naman ang NDRRMC sa ngayon.
Well, that circular was issued together with the Civil Service Commission, ma'am. So their position was also...
Perhaps we can revisit because at that point in time, ang pinag-uusapan lang, disaster management officer sa regional level. So syempre, yung competency dapat mas mataas. You are referring to the LGU,
LGUs, yes,
ex officio or permanent resiliency officer at city and provincial level, yung ba yun?
Yes, ma'am.
So wala pa yung municipal at barangay kung kasali.
Well, what is provided in the joint memorandum circular is up to the level of municipal.
Yun na nga. Pero sa municipal, mahirap rin yung standard. Perhaps we can revisit that.
We will do, ma'am. But based on our records, the compliance rate of the local government unit is at 65%. And the main reason for the non-compliance is due to personal service limitation.
That's right, that's right. We failed on that score also. And unfortunately, siguro appeal din sa DILG, that became the reason for many of our LGUs to fail in the seal of good governance dahil walang disaster officer. Well, unang-una, way above na the PS limit at ikalawa, wala nga mag-qualify. So siguro we can reconsider para mangyari ito hanggang sa municipal level or even the barangay level. At tanungin natin sa DBM, do you have any approximation of how much this would cost? And precisely which LGU, hanggang municipal ba to o hanggang barangay? Ayan. Sif.
Thank you, Your Honors. Actually po, in barangay level, wala po kaming permanent plantilla positions regarding sa pag-create ng disaster officers.
Miski yung kapitan, wala naman permanent.
Exactly po. So definitely, pero mandated po kami to create a BDRMC officers lang po. Pero syempre po, hindi siya permanent position. But in city, as ex-officio councilors po, Marikina cannot able to get a qualified permanent position that said an organization just because of the ang daming hinahanap po ng qualifications. Lalo na Marikina, knowing Marikina, marami talagang disasters or mga hazards doon. So, actually, yun po ang kulang namin, kaya hindi kayo makapasok sa mga seal of good governance as part of that services po.
Baka naman i-reconsider rin ng DILG, tanggalin na yon as a criterion. Kasi nabibigatan talaga yung maraming LGU. Anyways, perhaps we can go over this bill and undertake the budget requirement. Kasi magkano yan? Lahat natin gusto, at least until municipal level, like you mentioned in the joint circular. However, magkano ang halaga niyan? What would be the average salary? At the municipal level pa lang, hindi pa rin yung barangay.
Madam Chair, we suspend consideration of this bill, not just because of the absence of the main sponsor, but to enable the committee to collate all the needed position papers. Specifically, I got a position paper from the Civil Service Commission na iba naman yung sinasabi. So,
Wala sa topic eh.
opo, so kailangan sigurong i-aral uli ito ng committee. But this is a very vital measure, especially as we deliberate on whether we will be creating a new department or will just be an authority. So dapat yung struktura nakatimpla na, nakalatag na sa baba. Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you very much. And with that, may we urge our committee secretary to derive the required position papers and calculations from the civil service, once again, from the NDRRMC, and most of all, from DBM to calculate the cost of such additional permanent item at the LGU level. Thank you. So we defer and appeal to the sponsor, perhaps we'll tell Senator Revilla, to explain further what he had in mind, because we all are in full support of the intent, but must work out the details so that all departments are of one mind. Thank you. We now proceed to my bill, which is the CMGP. Ito yung matching grant na binibigay at lumobo siya sa 2017. In the past few years, it has languished at the amount of 8 billion. And it's always been a problem in implementation dahil napakaraming requirements sa guidelines na talagang nahihirapan ang mga LGU, and usually yung hindi makapag-comply, yung mga LGU na kailangan ng tulong. So yan ang problema namin dyan. There's also been a sense na kung minsan medyo capricious, whimsical, unfair ang distribution. Kasi kung maaalala po ninyo, noong 2018, tinanggalan ng Ilocos Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, at saka Davao del Norte. Kaya lahat hirap. So, eto nga, sana wag ganon. Of late, ang nakita natin, ang CMGP ay talagang nabuo sa ilalim ng LGSF din. And again, with the Mandanas ruling, I think it becomes incumbent to convert all the LGSF into a more LGU-driven fund as part of the Mandanas ruling. So siguro, ito sa matching grant natin, kasi ngayon hindi na siya matching eh. Kasi ang nangyari, 100% funded na ng national government, subalit sagot ng lokal ang road maintenance and the other concerns. So, siguro, tanungin muna natin sa DILG, meron ba tayong DILG na nakakaalam nitong conditional matching grant? Dr. Tolentino, kaya mo bang
Actually, ma'am, thank you po.
pangatawanan ang DILG?
We've consulted po with our office and they said po na it's under the Office of the Project Development Service and they will give their position paper on our next.
Yes, I think the issue's really been, well, firstly, 8 billion is clearly very, very small for 81 provinces. So it's an outrageous amount, and yun nga, pareho rin ang salin tubig. Kahit anong tumbling ang gawin mo, pagkasya lahat yan, hindi talagang magkakasya. Talagang karamihan, galit sa'yo. Kasi kakarampot ang mabibigay, kundi talagang wala. So that's really a problem. So ang question dyan is, have you issued the guidelines for 2020? Kasi yan din ang problema, hindi nag-i-issue ng guidelines yung DILG. At kapag lumabas, parati sasabihin, yung 2017, ganun din yon. Eh yung 2017, yun nga ang rinereklamo.
Ma'am, we will follow up po.
Wala pa eh, kasi
Wala pa
matagal
po
na
yata.
akong
Yes, ma'am.
humihingi. Alam naman ninyo, may hangover pa rin akong LGU at governor. Kaya eto nga, walang kopya. Matagal ko nang hinihingi. Can you give us a status of the implementation of the CMGP 2017 to 2020? Marami kasing unfinished dyan. Lalong-lalo na sa Davao Norte, sa amin. Nakakatawa nga sa amin, kalahati ng tulay. Eh, paano ka naman tatawid? Nakalahati lang yung tulay. Parang gusto mo magpakamatay. So, if you can give us a status, because to my knowledge, there are quite a few projects that have never been finished. Yes, Mr. Lesa, please.
I have limited information regarding CMGP kasi under kami ng OPDS but magkaiba kaming unit. As far as I know, ma'am, yung data po na hiningi niyo, they can provide them, ma-provide nila po yun. Siguro lang hindi lang sila na-invite sa ngayon yung taga-CMGP office.
Okay,
Yeah,
so to the committee secretary, I think that's a clear point na talagang dapat kumbidahin yung CMGP office.
ma'am.
Iba pa pala yun eh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Opo.
so can we invite them para malaman yung implementation at ano naging problema? From the LGU side, may taga-mayors, may taga-governors league, maliban kay Sandy, ikaw lang? Kasi governors to eh, puro sa probinsya to. Yes, Sandy.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, I have a copy of the DILG report on the update.
Okay, can you just summarize the salient points, please?
For 2017, there were 316 projects for a total amount of 17.6 billion, which should I hindi.
Tuloy na hanap lang yung accomplishment.
Anyway, I got it from OPDS. So, Madam Chair, I got this from the ILG OPDS when we requested for a copy. So, initially that year, the CMGP was 17.6 billion. Malaki po noon, ma'am, nag-start. And bumaba po to 8 billion. But total of 1,192 kilometers. The physical...
Isang taon lang yun. Isang taon lang.
Isang taon lang, ma'am,
malaki.
naging
Pagkatapos
7.
nun, lumiit na ng lumiit, parating lang 8 billion.
Yes, ma'am. So, total of 1,192 kilometers. Physical accomplishment rate of 92.9%.
Okay lang, let's proceed to the
Maganda.
next year.
So, for the next year, 2018, bumaba na po to 8.2 billion and 225 projects were implemented.
Lahat ng
covering-
na-cancel, BARM, ano?
Opo.
They're excluded, explicitly excluded in the 2020 budget.
Yes,
So, in
ma'am.
effect, there is some kind, in a sense, of an increase. Kasi paghahatian ng 76, hindi paghahatian ng 81. So, sumunod, please.
Yes, ma'am. For 20, for 2017, 18, overall, ma'am, nawala. So, for the period 2016 to 2018, they have not given us a copy of the 2019, ma'am. Opo. So, a total of 34 billion for 756 projects. Maganda naman, ma'am, yung aming accomplishment rate, 90.2%.
Oo, I think na-resolve na rin yung mga COA issues
Yes,
about
ma'am.
counterparting. Kasi ngayon, wala nang counterpart, so mas maliwanag na eh.
Yes. But for the year 2020, there are only 77 projects na, ma'am, because wala na yung
Hindi,
sa ARM.
provinces.
Provinces.
Not projects. Oo,
Seven-
provinces.
77
Tanggal yung BARM
provinces.
dahil may block grant naman
Yes,
sila.
ma'am. So, on the average, for 2020, each province should be getting 106.8 million. But the highest given, sabi mo nga, ma'am, medyo inequitable yung distribution. For Palawan, they got 216 million. And the lowest, that's the highest, Palawan. For the lowest, it's Basilan at 47 million. So medyo hindi po
O
siya.
yun na nga, dahil doon nga nagre-reklamo, palibasa yung Basilan nga, iisa lang naman yung kalsada doon na dadaanan.
Yes, ma'am.
Kaya nagre-reklamo yung lahat. Although, of course, we want to develop Palawan as well as a tourism and other business site.
And also, ma'am, ang reklamo po ng mga governors, ma'am, if I may lang, because, ma'am, ano po sila sa Viber, basahin ko daw sa inyo yung kanilang request po. So, Governor Tyrone Uy of Davao, sabi niya, ma'am, hello daw po, Senator. Sana po ma-increase daw po ang budget. Perhaps they recommend 500 million per province at the very least kung i-institutionalize po. And for Governor Philip Tan, we suggest that the national government should have a plan of when to finish all provincial roads and appropriate the corresponding amount yearly to finish it within that planned period.
Palagay ko, sorry, are you done?
Ma'am, my province has 250.
Dahil 81 ng governor, baka abutin tayo ng session.
Ay, okay. Hindi, ano lang po, 3 lang po sila nag-comment, ma'am, sa Viber group. So, 250 kilometers of unpaid roads daw po yung probinsya niya. With the rate they are given funds at 127 million each year. It will take my province 25 years more or less to finish. So, yun lang yung long-term plan lang po yung basically they share the common view that this is what they're recommending, ma'am.
Yes, over and above the local concerns of the governors, the reality is the World Bank, the ADB, all the other OECD and other important research groups have said time and again that there is a missing middle here in the Philippines. Ang sabi nila na may national road network tayo na maayos, subalit yung local core roads ay kulang-kulang talaga. Sapagkat hindi kayanin talaga ng ating mga local government budgets na mapaganda o makongkreto yung kanilang mga kalsada. So talagang kailangan ito, and I enjoin everyone to study it. Siguro ang mga mabuting gawin, katulad nung tubig, talagang pag-aralan. So I would suggest that we proceed to a TWG, and as Governor Tan rightly observed, gumawa tayo ng plano. At siguro with the help of Public Works, ilan na ba talaga ang natapos na provincial road na medyo maayos-ayos na kayang i-maintain yung LGU, at ilan yung core roads sa local government na kailangan pang tapusin at kailan tatapusin. Gawan natin ng framework. So yun, yung sinasabing National Local Road Plan. Siguro yan ang TWG natin. Tignan natin magkano yung cost, and in the meantime, just like the potable water, let us work on a sum to increase the budget in 2021. Yes, our good chairman.
There is an existing, I'd like to have the attention of the ILG. There's an existing joint memorandum circular, 2017, April 26, 2017. In your assessment, how will the proposed bill upgrade your existing capacity to aid the LGU, specifically the provinces, given that you have limited mandates with the joint memorandum circular, Madam Chair? Hindi nyo kabisado yon?
With due respect, Your Honor, we are not
Kasi hindi sila yung CGMP in charge
Okay.
So, COMSEC, kung maaari, tawagan natin yung CGMP at dapat sila ang mag-head ng technical
OPDS.
working group.
Yes,
Mr.
because
Chairman,
if I may
Madam.
be given the chance to amend and include, perhaps I would, kasi ang nakalagay lang dito yung mga local road management, provincial road development plan, public financial management, good financial housekeeping, provincial core road. Ilalagay ko yung mga disaster-related projects, and this would include rehabilitation.
Kasi tama yun, yung ibang inire-repair, hindi rin kaya ng LGU kasi sobrang sira sa disaster.
Hindi pa nagagawa, natatamaan na ng disaster. So gagawin uli. So yun lang po, Madam Chair, and I think sa TWG,
Sinong isasama natin sa TWG? Siguro may DBM, DILG, at yung LPP, please. Asa na si Sandy? Ayan. Okay? Para sama-sama lahat. Yes,
One
Sandy.
last point. Our request to the ILG OPDS, ma'am, kasi like Governor Bambi Emano is complaining because based on the records, 40 provinces suffered a decrease in their CMGP allocation for 2020 compared to the 2019. Primarily because the OPDS changed some factors in the computation, the formula, and we were not properly informed
That's right.
of the change.
Or consulted, for that
or
matter.
consulted, yes. So we would like to request that if there are changes, that these changes should be applied prospectively and not for the current year, because it's very difficult for the province to implement a road project. Inaasahan nila ito yung amount and then biglang bababa. We have to
So, hirap rin sila sa
oo.
local budgeting. Kasi, paano nila bibigyan ng maintenance, tapos kung minsan sa amin, sa LGU, yung approach, di ba, pagtulayan, talagang hirap. Okay, so, maaring masagot sana ng isang TWG yung mga concerns na yon, na magkasundo tayo sa guidelines na very, very onerous talaga for the LGUs. And yun nga, and it's a moving goalpost. Iba-iba naman kasi yung mga sinasabi ninyo. Noon dati kasi, sama lahat ng infra. Biglang hindi kasali yung mga tulay. Biglang kasali na yung tulay. Nakakahilo talaga. Talagang hirap yung LGU kung alin ang maaasahan na aling hindi. So, and wag naman i-require na lahat may seal of good governance. Kasi as I said earlier, yung pang talagang nangangailangan, talagang kapos, talagang yung pa ang hindi makakamit ng SLGS. Yes, Mr. Leysa.
Madam Senator, just for the clarification, yung governance reform po, in particular for Salintubig and AM, ang nire-require lang po is the seal of good financial housekeeping, not the seal of good local governance. Kasi si SGLD kasi po, it's a bigger
That's right, because it involves provinces, so may SLGS.
Yeah, yung sa kwan po, Salintubig and AM, good financial housekeeping lang. Ibig sabihin, walang is po.
Talagang hindi nakakamit na probinsya. So, eto nga, I think these issues can be raised in a TWG, but perhaps, Mr. Chairman, I enjoin you that we look at the LGSF as a whole. Kasi meron pang dalawa na hindi natin natakal ngayong umaga, yung assistance to municipalities and assistance to cities. Sana, talagang ibuo na natin yung LGSF para ito ay ma-convert bilang first step natin sa implementation ng Mandanas ruling with greater consultation with the LGUs, at the same time, a bigger budget sana from DBM. May I ask that the LPP, the DILG, CMGP at saka yung DBM, kung maari mag-meet na kayo ng maaga para nga katulad ng sinabi ni Majority, magkaroon tayo ng makabagong draft bago umabot ng March 12. Dahil bunuan na sa budget Nagpapasok na sila ng request sa budget. It's important that we get our requests in early. So, I'm sorry to inflict it on you, but yung aking kailyan, sige.
Manang. Your Honor, also LGFS funded to barangay level also, please.
Ay, oo, tama. Yung pa, may assistance to barangays pa rin. So, siguro, we should review, I will file a resolution to review all the LGSF ASAP para matignan natin.
Ordered conditional matching grants to LGUs. Provinces lang yan.
Provinces lang. I think we need a new one kasi kasama sa LGSF yung tubig, yung assistance pa. Siguro bago na lang para neater. Okay, I'm sorry to inflict these very aggressive deadlines on all of you, but thank you very much for being here. Once again, let us remind the COMSEC to please bring DBM on board kasi sila ang may hawak ng pera. Okay, maraming salamat. Thank you very much, and I hope my chairman gets better soon. Second. Adjournment. Second the motion.
I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Mabuti
Automatic.
naman.